Have you ever noticed that some men are always single? Not just for a few months, but for years. They're not lonely, not desperate, not broken. They choose it. Or life keeps leading them back to it. Why does this really happen? Here's the psychology behind men who are always single. First, understand this. Being single for a long time is rarely about not finding anyone. It's usually about mindset, emotional patterns, and deep personality traits. So let's break it down. They are deeply comfortable with solitude. Some men don't just tolerate being alone, they thrive in it. Silence doesn't scare them. Empty rooms don't feel empty. Their brains get dopamine from independence instead of social validation. Psychology calls this emotional self-sufficiency. They don't rely on others for constant reassurance. This can be powerful and peaceful, but it also means relationships feel like a disruption, not a necessity. When you enjoy solitude, commitment feels like a sacrifice of space, time, and identity, so they choose themselves again and again. High standards built from comparison and self-awareness. Many long-term single men aren't unable to find partners, they're unwilling to settle. Social comparison theory explains this well. They compare relationships they see online, in movies, or in friends' lives with what they truly want, and when reality doesn't match the ideal, they step back. They are often deeply self-aware. They know their flaws. They know their limits. They would rather stay single than fake love, force chemistry, or enter emotional chaos. To outsiders, it looks like pickiness. Inside, it feels like self-respect. Fear of vulnerability disguised as independence. Some men say, "I'm better alone," but beneath that statement, psychology often finds fear of vulnerability. Opening up requires risk. Being seen means being judged. Many developed this from past rejection, childhood criticism, or betrayal. Their nervous system learned a lesson. Closeness equals danger. So they build emotional walls and call it freedom. They master independence but struggle with intimacy. They avoid deep attachment not because they don't care, but because care means too much and fear losing themselves inside it. Learned helplessness from repeated failure. Some men tried. They loved hard. They invested, and everything fell apart. After repeated heartbreaks, the brain forms learned helplessness, the belief that no matter what I do, it won't work. So they stop trying before anything even starts. They laugh it off, act unbothered, or say, relationships are overrated. But underneath is fatigue, emotional exhaustion, a quiet belief that love is simply not meant for them. Strong focus on goals and identity building. Some men are single because their life is already full. They're building careers, skills, bodies, dreams. Romantic relationships feel like a distraction from self-improvement. Their dopamine comes from progress, achievement, clarity. Psychology calls this intrinsic motivation. When a man's identity is tied to purpose rather than partnership, he delays relationships until he feels ready. The twist is, that moment rarely comes. They keep upgrading themselves, and love keeps getting postponed like a project deadline that never arrives. Avoidant attachment style. Attachment theory explains a lot here. Avoidant men crave closeness but pull away when someone gets too close. They like the idea of love, but not the reality of emotional dependence. They value freedom more than bonding. Their childhood may have taught them that emotions are too much, so as adults, they avoid emotional intensity altogether. They date briefly, they disappear, or they never start at all, not because they're cold, but because closeness feels overwhelming. They don't fit traditional dating expectations. Some men don't play the social performance game. They dislike small talk, status signaling, and pretending. Dating culture today often rewards confidence, extroversion, and constant availability. But some men are introverted, observant, deeply internal. They overthink, they analyze, they see through games. This makes them seem uninterested or hard to read. But in truth, they simply don't chase validation. They want genuine connection, and they would rather stay single than perform for attention. Emotional intelligence makes them more selective. Ironically, emotionally intelligent men are often single longer. They understand attachment, boundaries, trauma, and compatibility. They know love alone is not enough. They want emotional maturity, not just attraction. So they walk away faster when they see red flags. They don't rush. They don't cling. They don't chase chemistry that hurts. Their loneliness is not emptiness. It is a filter. So what's the real takeaway? Men who are always single aren't all broken or unwanted. Many are deeply self-aware, introspective, and emotionally independent. Some are healing. Some are protecting themselves. Some are simply choosing a life that feels peaceful instead of chaotic. The psychology is simple and powerful. People stay where their nervous system feels safest. For some men, that place is solitude. If this spoke to you, remember this: whether single or not, your worth is not defined by relationship status. Growth, healing, self-knowledge, that's the real journey. And if you enjoy content like this and love understanding human psychology, hit subscribe and stay with us. There is so much more to uncover about the mind, the heart, and the hidden reasons behind human behavior.